all these things that you are experiencing, anything related to your present sensory experience, you can know for a fact that that is true. It's happening, period, end of story. Again, that is deeply healing, deeply calming, deeply empowering. And from this space, you can choose what thoughts you want to pay attention to or direct your attention and your intention to what you would like to think about instead. Doesn't make those thoughts any more true, it just makes them more beneficial to what it is that you would like to experience, what you would like to do. Are you ready to live a life with enough time, money, and energy? Have relationships and connections that delight you? Are you ready for the extraordinary life you know you've been missing? If so, then this is the place for you. I'm a best-selling author, coach, consultant, and speaker who's worked in technology for over 2 decades. I'm a leader at transforming people and organizations from operating in fear, obligation, and guilt to running off joy, ease, and love. It's time for Engineering Emotions and Energy with me, Justin Wink, Ph.D. Hi there. Have you ever thought about your thoughts? Well, today we're going to be talking about your thoughts so that you can not just be thinking about enjoying your life and doing what you're meant to do and having all of the impact and the connections and the adventures that I know if you are a listener or maybe you're new are wanting to experience. So instead of just thinking about all of that, let's talk about how you can actually experience all that. So think, what actually happened when I said think? Was there maybe a break in your thought process? Was there a little bit of peace or space or just a little pause? Whatever you might have experienced, isn't that interesting that I say think and your mind kind of has a little bit of like, whoa, hold up. So perhaps it's not following all the instructions that are coming into it. And in fact, maybe your mind isn't thinking the thoughts that you actually would like or would benefit from. Do you even know if your thoughts are true? Have you ever pondered that? That the thoughts going around your head a million miles a minute off in that nonstop monkey mind, is all of that chatter true? And if not, uh, then where's it all coming from? And is it worth listening to? So there's some schools of thought, some philosophy, some views on the nature of reality itself, even that would argue that your thoughts are not true at all. In fact, I'm going to say something that you might find a little hard to accept or even entertain. Yet I'd like you to just put this in the box of what if this were true? What if this was true? And what I'm going to propose is all your thoughts are lies. All of your thoughts are lies. So what does this mean? What's actually true then? Well, this gets back to what I was suggesting that some consider the only thing that can be true, knowably, definably. There's books written about this that get to this conclusion. And so let's just start with the end and go from there. But that the only thing that is possibly true is the statement, I am. Basically, that I exist or you exist. Other than that, everything is completely made up. Your thoughts, whatever your relation between what you see in the world, because your relation between what you see in the world or feel in the world is put together by, of course, your thoughts. And again, we're about doing things here that are like going to actually make your life that you are living and pursuing helpful, usable, doable. So we're not going to get too far off in the weeds. So I want you to stick with me here. What's important is if you can kind of go like, okay, what if everything's a lie other than I am? There's also something else that is, I like to believe, very true and very useful and very beneficial. And that's that not only is you existing true, but what you are experiencing in the moment is true. So, example, what do I mean by experiencing right now is true? So, right now you're listening to my voice, or possibly you're watching this and you're seeing an image of me, whatever it is, that sensory input that is happening right now. And that is true that you are experiencing that. What you are seeing, what the words and what your mind, your logical mind is putting together from that and making meaning of and telling you like this guy's full of shit, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, like this guy's face looks funny, like what's up with all the stuff behind him and the books and the whatnot, what's all this? That's all lies. But the fact that you are seeing images, you're hearing my voice, even the fact that you are experiencing thoughts, that is all true. And how is this beneficial? Well, let's ratchet this up. And you've probably experienced sometimes, like especially during election time, which if you're in the United States, it's almost, when is it not election time, unfortunately? And one of the things that politicians are renowned at is not speaking truth. Things that we go, well, that was shit. Um, and it's frustrating. It's off-putting. It's annoying. There's something about when there is not truth that it is puts us at dis-ease, which likely causes some of the disease that many people experience. So if you know that experiencing lies from others puts you at ease, like makes you frustrated, makes you anxious, makes you sad, makes you what, just all of these things that you are wanting to likely experience less of, or at least you don't want more shit from other people, because it's not about getting rid of these emotions. It's about experiencing the ones that life is going to bring out at us and being able to experience them in real time and move on to experience the joy, the pleasure, the ecstasy, the bliss that is possible if we're not, trying to ignore all the feelings we're trying to avoid. And so thus we ignore all the possible feelings, including the ones that many of us would love to have more of in our life. So if we know that experiencing untruths or lies is shitty, like it just fucking sucks when it comes from others, what's it going to be like when we have lies of ourselves in our head going on that we're often not even aware of? It's going to have the same impact. So if you can experience truth, because sometimes have you ever had like a relationship end, whether maybe it was a romantic relationship or could even be a work one, but just like part of you knew it wasn't going well, that it was not good. There was something off, and then the breakup comes or the firing or the ending, whatever it is, and it's like it sucks. It's painful, yet there is something deeply comforting about like, oh, yeah, this was not good. It's time for this to end. That there's a bit of that relief because it's true. You've experienced the truth. And so when we step into the truth of what actually is, it can be deeply relaxing, deeply healing, and deeply empowering. And so when you step into this truth of the present moment, and I'm going to expand on these. I've done episodes a little bit like this on the in the past where I talk about these moments of truth, and these are basically anything that you are currently experiencing, but you add nothing more to it. So it's basically what are you seeing and focusing on that without adding any extra story. It's like, you're looking at color, you're looking at shapes, you're looking at structure, but without trying to, write a thesis on, oh, I think it's this type of green and it's that type of whatever, but just like try to just really notice what you are seeing. Like it's the most important thing that you've ever seen, whatever it is. Same thing with what you are hearing, like just the tonality, the cadence, the pattern, the vibrancy without worrying too much about the content. Don't worry, your biological mind is going to be capturing all that shit and going to be able to have it. But this is something, your mind is incredibly powerful and actually do many things at once. You know it's already doing multiple things at once because you're breathing, your heart is beating, you've got your intestinal tract is likely digesting or preparing to digest or doing your skin is doing all of these things to, bring in stuff from the outside and keep things out, and it's sloughing off cells that it no longer needs. Like your system is incredible. It can do so much more if only you allow it to. And when you allow it to have more truth, just more touching in with what actually is instead of the nonsense that is your thoughts, then you're going to have so much ease, so much calm, so much more peace. So again, it's your vision, it's your hearing, it's your touch. It's what's the sensation like? What is the temperature? What is the roughness, the smoothness, the sensation of whatever you might be touching or might be touching you, your clothing, your seat, whatever you might be putting in your hands, or just even your hand itself touching your own skin to your skin. There's so much going on, so much possibility, right? Then there's your breath, noticing your breath. What's it like as it is? Just, what's the temperature of the air going in, and how wide does your chest expand, and how much does your belly shift? And there's so much going on with your breath. And as we said, there's just the noticing the nature that you are thinking without worrying about what the fuck is being thought. This that you are thinking and just going like, oh, that's happening. That's happening, right? All these things that you are experiencing, anything related to your present sensory experience, you can know for a fact that that is true. It's happening. Period. End of story. And again, that is deeply healing, deeply calming, deeply empowering. And from this space, you can choose what thoughts you want to pay attention to, or direct your attention and your intention to what you would like to think about instead. So it doesn't make those thoughts any more true. It just makes them more beneficial to what it is that you would like to experience, what you would like to do. And just that slight shift, just even just a few moments a day where you get this is going to have huge impacts over time, where you can just cut some nonsense that might be triggering some anger, might be triggering some frustration, might be triggering some unnecessary sadness. Again, it's not about not having these feelings, these emotions. There's actually nothing wrong with them. It's about the mind creating them out of nowhere that is not benefiting you. It's just going into a loop, into a pattern, buying into the bullshit of your own mind that's been thinking the thoughts that likely you didn't decide to think them. They were put on you through experiences and from what other people said. And now it's time to see your own mind, recognize your own thoughts, and have a chance to think new thoughts. And the pathway through that is by going out of the bullshit, out of the lies of your thoughts into the truth of your present experience. And from there, you can begin to see your thoughts for what they truly are and decide, well, what thoughts would I rather have? And when you are choosing your thoughts, you really are choosing the world that you want to be experiencing. And some of you might be going like, this is wild, this is crazy, this is ridiculous. There's no way. Justin's full of it. He's finally lost it. Yet some of you might be going like, there's something here. And then there's probably even another amount of you that's like, absolutely, totally, 100% get it. Um, Wherever you are on this, um, we're all in this together of figuring out what is true and what do we want to not necessarily make true, but what do we want to make part of our experience, right? Because if you think of the landscape of thoughts as a movie, no movies are true. Even the ones that are supposedly based on a true story or documentary, there's so many people that have been the subject of documentaries that go like, well, that the way that that came across was total bullshit. That's not how it actually happened. They did some editing, da 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 da. Because again, there's always the filtering. There's always what's left out, what's repeated, what's focused on. So again, be the director of your own life. Choose your own thoughts, but do this by settling in on what is true. And what's true is the raw materials that you're working with. And these are your thoughts that you're thinking, your breath, your physical sensations, your vision, and your hearing. without putting anything, without letting the thoughts get involved in any of that. So I'd love to hear what you think about this. Um, yeah, so just let me know. And a lot of the things that I've been teaching here over the years, they really are all about getting you into this truth so then you can create the thoughts or the focus on the thoughts that are going to get you the life and the experiences and the adventure and the connections that you desire to have more of. And this desire it's natural. It's part of being human. It's a good thing. The being stuck in it, that's optional. That's optional. You're going to have desire. You're going to have thoughts, but getting stuck in the old thoughts, that's something that is not necessary. That's something that you can get out of. And by focusing on what is true, which is your present experience, that is the pathway to getting to what you truly want in life. And I want that for you. So if there's anything that you have questions about, shoot me a note. Um, so good to be, back here, back in my home studio here. It's a beautiful sunny day. This is a really exciting time of year because where I live near a seawall, and every year the winter batters it and rocks fall off and things like that. And this is the time of year that they repair it. So there's heavy machinery down in the sand, with moving rocks, moving sand, doing the repairs. It's bananas. I'll probably have some pictures and videos of that posted so if you want to check that out. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm like a kid getting to see that stuff. So with that, thanks so much, and wishing you well, and we'll see you next time. Good day. Thanks for tuning in to Engineering Emotions and Energy with Justin Wink, Ph.D. Today's episode resonated with you? Please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Your feedback not only supports the show, but also helps others find us and start their journey of emotional and energetic mastery. You can also help by sharing this podcast with someone you think will love it just as much as you do. Together, we're engineering more amazing lives.